What's going on, everybody? My name is John Serwin, and this is my kitchen. Welcome. Today, I'm going to show you how I made this pan-seared cod with a white wine butter tarragon pan sauce, some oven-roasted potatoes, and oven-roasted asparagus. Nice, quick, light, easy Friday night meal for fish. Show you the techniques and how it's done coming up. Stay tuned. To start up our pan-seared cod, we need cod. We have four, not going to lie, pretty small little fillets of cod here, but gotta work with what we have. So, little note about this. You see this right here? That was the skin side, and this will be service side or the presentation side. All right, just had to wash up my hands. So what we're going to do, we are going to take some kosher salt and just put it on the skin side right now. Remember, always season high to get some even distribution. We're going to flip it over and put kosher salt on the other side as well. We will let this sit for about 20 minutes to draw up some of the moisture. In the meantime, while we're waiting for our cod to cure a little bit from the salt, we are going to take some tarragon here and chop it up. We're going to take a shallot and mince it. When I zest a lemon, first, since I'm going to be using the juice of this lemon, I will roll it to break up some of that membrane on the inside, get that juice flowing some. But then I will hold the lemon, take my microplane, and I will microplane from the top like this. That way it controls, I just get the essential oils and the zest and none of the pith. So just going to go around and do this entire lemon. And there we are. That is an entire lemon zested. And yeah, we were able to get the zest without getting the pith. So I'm going to save this and I'm going to juice this. We are going to take up some red potatoes and just quarter them. We're going to roast up some red potatoes and some asparagus. I just take this stuff has been in my fridge for a day or two, so it's starting to get a little wilted. No big deal. I'm just going to cut off about 1.5 inches from the bottom. So just going to take the potato here, take a little olive oil, squeezer of olive oil, 2 big pinches of salt, some cracked black pepper, and a little garlic powder. Just going to toss this around in a bowl and put it back on the sheet pan. Make sure my cut sides are down. Take a little squeezer of olive oil, salt, remember season high, black pepper, garlic powder, and into a 400-degree oven we go. Probably going to flip these in about 20 minutes. Get the other side a little brown. 20 minutes has elapsed, and let's see if you could see. You can see some of the moisture being pulled up. That is what we want. I'm going to do it's a quick dredge just in some flour, so it kind of will give a nice little crust to the cod when we pan sear it. Plus, we're going to make a pan sauce out of the remnants that are left. What I'm going to do, just a little bit of fine, I changed my grinder to fine black pepper on this side. Going to flip it around and not cross-contaminate. I'm going to use my left hand now. A little bit of fine pepper. I like putting it on the protein that you are dredging instead of in the flour. So salt and pepper on here, nothing in the flour. That way you know and can kind of control how much is going on there. All right, so just going to grab, get it all coated up. Try and avoid give it a shake off, smack it a little bit, and right back on the cooling rack. Remember, it's going to be a very light coating. Doesn't have to be nothing crazy going on here. All right, that is all. See over. That's all she looks like. Quick little dredge on here. Going to give a little bit more on this. And see you over at the stove. At our stovetop, we are going to grab our 12-inch stainless steel skillet, turn it on to medium-high heat. We are going to use a new cooking medium. It is Ghee, which is clarified butter that has basically you toast all of the milk solids that are in butter. So you make a brown butter, you get all the browned solids out of the butter, clarify it, and then you have ghee. That is what makes it different from clarified butter. Clarified butter, you do not toast the milk solids. So this actually gives it a little bit of a nutty kind of brown butter taste, and it's fantastic. Some people, you know, if you have a more delicate fish or you want more of a delicate flavor for the fish, just use butter or use some beef tallow or use, you know, just try to avoid seed oils. That's really what I go with. But ghee works out great in this because that'll help with the pan sauce as well. So we're going to let this come up to heat, probably around 350 degrees. We're getting our first wisps of smoke. So I'm going to take my thicker pieces of fish first. I'm going to put those bad boys in. And remember, always lay away. Let's see if I can get, I might be able to get all 4 in here without compromising. Ooh, let's see. Can I? Hey, not too shabby. We're going to get our splatter guard on here though, and we are going to count about 90 seconds to 2 minutes per side. Then about 90 seconds, let's check. We're going to keep it going just a little bit longer. All right, going to come in, do a quick flip. All right, we're only going to do about 1 minute on this side. It has now been 1 minute, and we are going to remove the fish. We're just going to rest this in the oven. Now that the fish has been evacuated and we have all of this flavor on the bottom, we are going to build our pan sauce. So those shallots that we have, we're going to start sauteing. Hit them just with a touch of salt. Start maneuvering them around in here. Got our heat down to medium now. And we are going to build a pan sauce. Let these cook for about 2-3 more minutes. Well, I forgot to hit record, but I put in about 1 cup of wine after the shallots just got a touch of color to them. That 1 cup of wine is deglazing the pan, and we are going to let this reduce. Got the heat down to medium. We're going to let this reduce by half. Now that our wine has boiled up and reduced, I'm going to go in with the juice of 1 lemon and also the zest of 1 lemon. That's going to help cut all the fattiness because we are going to be adding about 4 tablespoons of butter to this to finish off the sauce. So the fattiness of that butter will be cut by the acidity of that lemon, and then you got a little bit of that sweetness from the white wine. Now that this is reduced by half, I am going to grab a whisk, and we are going to throw in about 4 tablespoons of butter and just whisk it in. This is actually room temperature butter. I'm going to turn the heat down all the way to low because we don't want it to get over 180 degrees or 190 degrees because that will break the emulsion of the butter. Because butter is an emulsion, and you go over 190 degrees, you will break it. That looks pretty good to me. Last but not least, we are going to take that tarragon that we chopped up earlier. Throw that all in. Tarragon works great with fish. If I had dill, I'd use dill, chives. I mean, whatever you have, just empty out whatever herbs you have. All right, we're going to turn this off. Give it a test for seasoning. Look at that, huh? Oh yeah, coats the back of a spoon. That's a good sign. That's all we want is a little bit of a sauce here. Now we're going to give it a test. Ooh yeah, bright, lemony, acidic, fatty, fantastic. Time to plate her up and try her out. Time to plate her up. We are going to take our fish, put it right in the center. And you know what? This may not look like the prettiest piece right here, but she's going to find a home in there. And then we're going to grab our asparagus and potatoes. Get our asparagus in there. Get a handful of potatoes maybe off to the side here. You know what? Odd number looks good, right? Now, time to take some of that pan sauce, just spoon it on the fish. And there you have it, folks, our finished product of pan-seared cod, a Tarragon Sauvignon Blanc, shallots, butter sauce with oven roasted potatoes and asparagus. So you just take all of those little techniques that I taught you and just apply them and start cooking little things. And this is the fun stuff you can figure out. So nothing left to do but give it a shot. All right, bottoms up. Oh, man, Tiny little bit of that crisp on the cod from that flour dredging, the light dredging, then cooking it in ghee. You could taste that little bit of nuttiness from like the brown butter. And brown butter is one of the greatest, not only smells, but tastes in the world as well. And that little tarragon sauce, that tarragon beurre blanc, I used, sorry, don't mind me. I used Sauvignon Blanc. You could use Chardonnay, and actually, like, it would pair up great with a glass of wine. Yeah, this is such an easy, quick, like, probably realistically took me 20, 25 minutes total, and that's even with shooting. So try out the potato. Nice red potato there. Yeah. A little hot still, but let me get the asparagus. Whatever green vegetable, whatever starch you want to go with. I mean, this just kind of takes basic techniques of pan searing a protein, using that leftover remnants of what was in the protein to make a pan sauce with some aromatics and use butter, wine, chicken stock, beef stock. Possibilities are endless. Yeah, I would say give this a shot. Let me know what you think. Comment below if you've ever made anything like this or are looking forward to now. Thanks for coming by, guys. Greatly appreciate it. And just want to leave you with this. Remember, you're just making food out of ingredients until you sit down and share them with the ones you love. Then it's a meal. All right, guys. Thanks for coming by. What a whirlwind this has been. Couldn't ask for anything better, though. And thanks for coming with me on my journey.